We all have crushes, right? Last year, I made a video titled, "Oh no, she's cute, Valentine's Day 2018, where I talked about this girl that I saw that I found really cute and started to have a crush on. And in this video, I'm going to be recapping everything that had happened after that video up until this point. This is my 2019 Valentine's Day video. So, last year, I told you guys about this girl that I met through this club that I'm in that I found really cute, and I honestly thought that it wasn't going to go anywhere until after that video was recorded. So last year I talked about this girl who we're going to be calling in this video Kayla. I don't remember if I named her something different in the other video, but for the sake of this video, her name is going to be Kayla. So Kayla was this girl that I met through this club that I'm a part of. At first I thought Kayla was only going to be this girl that I saw at club meetings here and there, but honestly, it turns out that luck might have been on my side a little bit. So pretty much a week after the first meeting that she went to, she actually went on a hike with all me and my friends, or at least all my friends that were in the club with me. And on this hike, I kind of noticed that a lot of us were just kind of clicking together and she was kind of walking by herself. So at one point I decided, hey, why not just talk to her? This is literally my chance to get to know her. So I kind of walked in front of all of my friends and started talking with her. We just started talking about like just a bunch of random stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that I really had fun and I really enjoyed talking with her and sort of getting to know a little more about like what she likes and like the area that she's sort of around and what she likes in that area. That was sort of the biggest stepping stone for me, getting to know Kayla a lot more, because there's a lot more to this story than just one single hike, I can tell you that much. So one day I was actually at school, just in the library chilling and on the computers, because I had a gap between the two classes that I had already gotten out of one, and I was waiting at least 2 hours for the next one to start. And randomly, Kayla decides to hit me up. She texts me at first. She asked me if I'm busy, and I said no, I'm not. And then as soon as I sent that reply, she ended up calling me. So I'm in the library and I'm thinking like, I can't answer this call in the library, so I book it out the door and pretty much answer her call, and I'm just like, hey, what's up? And then she pretty much asked me like, hey, do you want to go grab food with me? And I was like, okay, this might be something cool, you know, something enjoyable. It sounds fun to me. So I end up saying, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go grab food. So we end up at this Mexican restaurant, well, Mexican place. This place serves Mexican food, basically. And we're sitting there and we're eating. And then the time comes for our classes, because we actually had class at the same time, but they were obviously different classes. And pretty much what she said was that she didn't really feel like going to class, and I told her that my professor doesn't actually take roll, which, I mean, he doesn't. He literally just walks in and like 5 people show up to the class. It's a really easy class. And I pretty much told her like, hey, you know, I don't really have to show up to my class. He doesn't take attendance. So we ended up going to the mall. And at the mall, we were originally going to go for boba, bubble tea, whatever the heck you guys want to call it. And we found out that the place that we wanted to go to, where we could have possibly gotten a hookup, was actually closed for the day because of some random thing. I'm not really quite sure why they were closed, but for some reason they were closed that day up until a specific time, and we didn't really want to wait. So we ended up just going shopping, and I ended up talking with her a little more, and we ended up talking about how the way that we sort of think about things, like sort of think about people and sort of like the way that we handle people. And I kind of really realized that she has a very similar like morale and ideals as my mom, which honestly did not help the fact that I liked her, because that gave me even more incentive to like her, or at least like it made me connect with her more, and it sort of made me attracted to her more, just knowing that like she's very similar to my mom. I don't know, do you guys have that sort of thing where like if a person sort of acts like your mom, or like has sort of like similar personalities, traits, etc., that your parents do you really like that in a significant other? Tell me down below. And yeah, we pretty much hung out that day. We ditched class, which I'm actually friends with a high school biology teacher, and I told him this, and I remember the first thing he told me was like, man, you were in love, which I don't know if that stands true. I'll let you guys decide by the time this video is done. The next thing that pretty much happened, the next big thing that really happened, was that I actually invited her out with with 2 of my other friends to go get ramen. So that way it was like, it wasn't awkward, because it was me, her, and then 2 other people. So we end up getting ramen, and I finished my ramen first. We're sitting right next to each other because, I mean, my friends didn't, I don't know, my friends just wanted me to sit next to her, I guess. But I end up finishing my ramen early, and then she pretty much looks at me and she's like, do you want some of mine? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then as she's pouring the noodles into my bowl, that sounds so weird. Now, as she's pouring noodles, putting noodles into my bowl, the waitress comes by and she's like, must be nice. And I overheard that, and I'm just thinking, what does that mean exactly? Because that was one of the strangest things I've never had an experience like that before. I don't know if she thinks that we're a couple, or if I'm just lucky that I'm like sharing my food, or that she's sharing her food with me. I don't really know. You guys tell me what that means too down below. I don't know. And pretty much right after that dinner, we were in a group text on Facebook, and then she said that she realized that she had none of our numbers. So what happens? She asks for me and my friends' numbers, but the only person who gave their number out, your boy right here. I gave my number. I was the only one to give my number. They left her on red pretty much, and then we pretty much started texting from there a little bit, and I don't know, it just kind of like, I don't know, it was fun, like just texting her and stuff. Through that texting, we actually started playing this game called Words with Friends. It's basically Scrabble for your iPhone, or basically for your smartphone. And you know, there was a point where I did write the word date, but I couldn't write the word me, so it didn't really work out for me. I mean, I tried to flirt that way, but that was another way that we sort of got to, I guess, know each other a little more, because she did end up writing the word cutesy, and then like when she wrote that, she sent me a text afterwards saying like, oh, that's me, cutesy. And honestly, I didn't want to make it so obvious that I liked her, but I honestly really did want to type like, yeah, you are pretty cute and stuff, but that's besides the point, honestly. There's also this thing that I like to go to at least once a month. There hasn't been one for the past few months. It's called mentorship. It's with that biology teacher that I mentioned earlier, where he pretty much gathers a group of people and sort of educates us and like talks with us about a specific topic, whether it's from relationships or even how to buy a car, like just a bunch of stuff. And I invited her to that, which kind of showed that, like, you know, I was brave enough to invite her to something that we could probably, like, you know, just enjoy together. Just, I don't know, just something fun, so I get to see her a little more. Honestly, that sounds selfish but also weird at the same time, but I don't really know. And there was a point where we actually we got sushi together. Well, we didn't get sushi together one-on-one. We went with two other guys, one of which will be mentioned in the story later. But we got sushi together, and you know, it was just a fun time, because I think the two guys that were with us kind of saw the chemistry that was between the two of us, or like the way that we acted, like how compatible we are, I guess you could say. And they sort of like just rolled with it, because I'll get to later on I'll get to what happens there. But we ended up getting sushi, and then afterwards we went to this ice cream place. And mind you, she was sick at the time, so what happened was she bought this guy who we'll call him Max. So she buys Max ice cream because apparently she owes Max for ice cream or something like that, and she buys her own ice cream. And I didn't really want to spend money on ice cream because I had just like spent money basically. But we end up getting ice cream. She gets Max his ice cream, and she gets her own ice cream. And mind you, she is low-key kind of sick at this point, so she looks at me and she's like, do you want to share? And I'm like I was like, oh crap, like sure, why not? Like I'll share ice cream with you. So we ended up sharing ice cream together, which I think the Max and the other guy, who's gonna remain nameless for now, or remain nameless in this video, I think they may have like seen that and sort of like wondered like, huh, it's kind of interesting or whatever. I don't know. They may have seen the way they may have seen the way I was talking with her, or just the way that I was interacting with her. I'm not really sure. But on that ride home from the ice cream place, Kayla tells me that she actually likes Max, and that low-key sort of broke my heart. You know, it kind of really sucks when a girl really tells you that, like, I really want someone that cares for me, because she doesn't actually really think that Max cares about her in that sort of way. Or even, I mean, to be honest, Max he doesn't really care about his life. Like, he just kind of like stays home, plays video games. He's not even trying to get a job or anything. Well, at that point he wasn't trying to get a job. He wasn't really doing anything, and like he just kind of he's not a good guy, as some of my other friends would say about him, because they do know him more than I do, at least. But despite this, I still end up liking Kayla, even though I know that she doesn't feel the same way towards me, or that she likes Max instead of me. Well, I wouldn't say instead of me, but likes Max and not me, I guess. I don't really know how to phrase that. I end up kind of ignoring this, and eventually the week of finals for our college comes around, and she calls me up and she asks me, "Hey, can you help me with my project?" And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, it was an excuse to like sort of spend time with her. So I pretty much met up with her, and she wanted me to voice for her project, because I mean, obviously I have a YouTube, and like, you know, I be making videos. I mean, you guys are watching a video of mine right now, and pretty much I end up voicing for her project. That actually took place. You guys might be a little surprised. I ended up meeting, I met her up at around 7 p.m. and then we were there till closing, which was 11, and then she asked me, "Hey, can I just go to your house and finish this?" And my heart was just beating. Like, I was nervous, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And we end up at my house, and the time that we finished the project was basically 4 a.m. because we took a lot of the time during the project to sort of just talk about the way that we feel about things, and sort of like I got to know little more personal things about her, which I'm thankful anytime I can just, you know, be with her and just like get to talk to her and stuff. And at the end of that night, at that 4 a.m. mark, I walked her to her car in my neighborhood, because even though my neighborhood's really small, I walked her to her car, and I told her, "Hey, I have something to tell you." But then, as she turned around and I looked in her eyes, I stopped, I froze, and I was just like, you know what? I'll save it for another time. And I pretty much didn't really get to tell her that I liked her. And to be honest, that was really the last time that I had seen her. Mind you, this was May. I hadn't seen her until August, and we hadn't really been texting because she did sort of get mad at me at one thing, and we kind of stopped talking at that point, which honestly it kind of hurt me. And I was at a point where I felt like I was getting over her, and like, because I hadn't seen her in so long. But she decides to hit me up and is like, "Hey, do you want to go with me and Anne to go get dinner and to go to this arcade?" And I was like, I mean, yeah, sure, I haven't seen you in a long time. So we end up going for curry, and she ends up telling me like, "Oh yeah, me and Max are dating now." And me, like, after hearing that, I kind of stayed quiet. I don't really know if she noticed how quiet I got, but Anne started talking with her, I guess, to sort of like distract from the fact that I was probably quiet, because honestly, that did sort of like hurt me a little bit. I don't really know. That was like 6 months ago. Actually, no, like 7 months ago. So I don't remember how I felt back then, but I do like the way that I'm talking about it now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like I was low-key kind of hurt about that. But we end up going to the arcade, and then pretty much Kayla and Anne pretty much played the game and like played DDR and stuff, and I was kind of there just watching, because, you know, I just like watching. Like, I don't know, like there's just like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't really know if you guys understand where I'm coming from with this whole thing, but I mean, I'd say it's kind of weird, honestly. And pretty much from August until January, I hadn't really spoken with her. I guess you could say I sort of took a break from seeing her, and I kind of took that break to sort of realize that like, hey, I don't know when the next time I'm going to see her is, so like maybe my feelings are going to change by that point. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not even pretty sure, I used those like 6 months to sort of get over her in a way. She would text me here and there, which I did find really interesting, and I wasn't sure if she genuinely wanted to talk with me or if she missed me or anything like that, but she would text me here and there, and it would be kind of interesting, but then the conversation would kind of just die out, and just I didn't really feel like it was leading up to anything. So Anne is pretty much the friend that is between the two of us. She's sort of the middleman, because she, like, out of all of our mutual friends, Anne is probably the closest one to both of us out of all our mutual friends. And Anne pretty much ended up telling me that, Kayla's working at the boba shop that just opened up that's right down the street from where we go to school. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And I actually always post photos of me getting drinks there on Instagram, and she did end up texting me saying like, "Oh, hey, I work there." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But yet I hadn't like seen her at all anytime that I was there. But I found that it's because she worked she didn't really work a lot of shifts there, so you know, maybe it was just luck. And through that conversation, she actually wanted to get dinner with me and Anne once again. Mind you, this is January of this year. So this was last month. So from August 2018 to January 2019, I had not physically seen her at that point for such a long time. And I had just thought that I was probably over her. But the more I texted her and just the more I thought about, like, you know, being able to see her, I honestly kind of realized that my feelings for her hadn't even changed. And my friend Leah and my friend Rob, they looked at me and they said, we kind of figured that this was going to happen to you, because I had never gotten any sort of closure with Kayla telling her that I liked her. I had never told her that I liked her, and I don't think she had ever figured out that I liked her either. And for the fact that I thought from August to January I was never going to see her, that I got rid of my feelings, the fact that I was able, that not even able, the fact that she texted and we just kept texting back again sort of made me realize that I really do still like this girl. And it's just, it's so strange to me, honestly. So we end up getting tacos at this one place. They don't know how to speak a lick of English, so I just kind of had to guess what the heck was going on. And then we end up going to the arcade again, and I end up watching them. And you know, I don't know why, but whenever like I watch her play DDR, I think it's just one of the like cutest things about her. Like, this is the most genuine sort of love that I've ever had in my life, and it's just so strange because a lot of people don't really expect this type of personality out of me. But when I sort of like ended up crushing on her, like it was just like everything changed for me. And pretty much after we went to the arcade, I told her about this new ice cream place that was opening up. So we went to sort of like a pre-opening to it. And we got this sort of like ice cream with like, it was like a waffle cone, like a actual waffle, like wrapped as the cone with the ice cream in it, shaped like a rose. And she has a foodie account. She's like sort of a foodie. She takes photos of food. So she was like, I have to take a photo of this food. And honestly, just looking at her take photos of food, like, I don't know why, but just like the look in her eyes and just like the smile on her face, like it just, I don't know, it just like, oh, I don't know, like makes me feel weird. I guess that like what my biology teacher friend really told me is true. Like, I really am in love, I guess. But she ends up saying like, hey, you should I want you to put yours in with me too. So I was like, okay, why not? So I end up putting my I end up taking photos with her of the ice cream that we have, and Anne is in the corner videotaping us. She still has the Snapchat or the video of us doing that stuff. And honestly, I know that some people have literally looked at that and they're like, oh, that's really cute. And I'm just like, oh my god, just stop doing this to me, honestly. And pretty much we had talked about how there's a new boba shop actually had opened up recently. And I know that she wanted to try it, so I told her like, hey, I could go with you, or like we could like just hang out. But like, because of the way that like scheduling is, it was really hard. We still haven't done it yet. I mean, I'm really hoping to be able to, you know, hang out with her, go to that boba shop, and maybe like get some food too. I don't really know. And now I have the last story, I guess I could tell you guys, that has happened between me and her. So Anne actually has a party, or she has this big family gathering that she has once a year, and she invited me and Kayla and a bunch of other friends. And I have a new friend. We'll call him Kevin for now, because I don't really know what to name him. But like, Kevin was also interested in seeing the dynamic between me and Kayla, so he decided to tag along. And pretty much the way that the seating arrangement was, it was Kayla, Anne, me, and then Kevin. So what had happened was, Kevin told me, hey, switch with Anne, because Kevin wanted to talk with Anne. So I ended up sitting with Kayla a bunch, and there was a point where a bunch of old people were dancing in the front, because at this sort of party, it's very traditional for like a bunch of the elderly people to sort of get up there and dance. And Kayla thought it was cute, so she wanted to go up there and dance, but she wasn't gonna dance just by herself. So what happens? I end up saying like, okay, yo, I'll go up there with you. So Anne goes up there, I go up there, and Kayla goes up there. But as we're walking up, I stop in my tracks and I head back to the table that we're sitting at. But Kayla grabs me by my arm and drags me up to the front where everyone is dancing, and then she realized that she wanted to dance on the other side, so instead of grabbing my arm, or instead of just pointing with me, she grabs my hand. She held my hand, and the look on my face was just, I was so fucking flustered. I just didn't know what to think at that time. Like, I felt like I probably got red in the face or something. It was just so weird, and just like seeing her dance and seeing her laugh and smile was just honestly one of the like I don't know, it just made me happy. Like, seeing her happy, seeing her laugh, seeing her smile just makes me like so happy. Like, I don't know, but honestly, this is the story of me and Kayla so far. I don't really know what's gonna happen here. A lot of people feel like she does like me, but at the same time, I know that she said that she didn't know, that she doesn't think it, or at least that's what Hannah's told me, that she doesn't think that I like her. But yeah, so I guess the whole point of this video was just to catch you guys up on what happened last year, after last year's video, and I don't really know, like, why do I still like her? I guess that's really the biggest question, or just like, is anything gonna happen with this? Because, like, I mean, I know I want something too, but I don't know the way she feels. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this story time, for this long story time. Jesus Christ, this video is like 20 minutes long. Gotta get to editing this though. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it's your first time on the channel, consider looking at the content that I have to provide, and also look at my social medias down in the description. I've got Twitch, I've got Twitter, I've also got a new sports channel that I have not even announced yet. So if you guys want to follow any of that, or look at any of that, or interested in any of that, obviously everything's down below. I'm still single at the end of the day, and yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Everyone else out there who's probably single or even taken, I hope you guys have fun with your significant others, and yeah, I don't know, see you guys in the next video, and yeah, have yourselves a good day like always, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye guys.